قاف.
Yep, that's a web. That's how we start this video. It is the continuation of the last, and I managed to delete some old videos to continue because it's such a good day today. Look at this. SubhanAllah, it's amazing. It puts the mind at rest, and also because the talk was getting interesting. So in this second part, I wanted to talk about one of the concepts that I spoke about in the first walk video, and it was the reaction to Ali Dawah's debate with the engineer, if you remember. And one of the things that I said was about how do we recognize that something is designed, what Francis Crick, the guy who discovered the DNA, said about it. It was made by aliens, and so on and so forth. Now, what is this thing? So let's try to make a short video about it. And again, it is a strong instrument, a strong intellectual tool. First of all, you see, not everything can be proven scientifically. But in what sense? In the sense that we cannot prove, for example, the existence of our grandmother, but we know that she must have existed because we make an inference. There is a chance that aliens put her there, but we make an inference again. We look at reality and we reflect. Now, the example of a grandmother is more probabilistic, but there are, on the other hand, things that are axiomatic, namely things that are the foundation, really. Like, for example, the fact that the being is and not being is not. It seems obvious, but it is an axiom, and it is really important. And there are many others that are the area of study of the philosophy of science. So what about these characteristics and criteria? You see, there are, as we said in the last video, things like codes, languages, symbols. So the codes and languages are symbols, which meaningful symbols. So things that symbolize something else in the real world. Or even, for example, the letter A symbolizes the sound ah, or a, whatever, and so on and so forth. And another thing which is important from this among these characteristics is purposefulness, functionality, the fact that a system comes together to do something, like, for example, the cell that reproduces. Now, there is no thing that we know of, that we observed, that can create function and symbols without their having knowledge. Nothing. It's impossible. It is up to the one who counters this claim to prove that it is otherwise, because in this case, conceptually and also empirically, we can prove that there are some specific characteristics that only come from an intelligence. And these are some of them. And this is why we made example of the other planet, and we discovered this strange artifact that we don't understand whether it is designed or not. And then we see that it has a function, it has symbols, that's it. Even a spoon, we know it has a function. We see, for example, some symbols which refer to the place it was made. We understand it is designed. That's how we do. And it is really amazing that we have become detached from this thing. So no one can deny that our eyes serve the purpose of seeing. You can't crack nuts with your eyes. You could try. You probably will have to go to the hospital for that. But it has a purpose. Let alone, I mean, we know that a spoon is designed. What about our brains? It obviously is designed. I hope there is no car passing through here. Yes, there's a motorcycle. Sorry for the sound, guys. I tried to go more away from the road to avoid the sounds, but this guy just came out from his house. So again, the interesting thing is that when we look at the cell, we not only see purpose and symbols like DNA, but we see them in a way that really reminds us, for example, the way we make things like robots. No one would deny that a robot is designed. Now, if you see, for example, what's called the central dogma of biology, you see a process which contains a Turing machine process, which contains information reading, copying, and reading and translation, and so on and so forth. I mean, we are not used to know about this stuff. When I was younger, I remember that for me, proteins were only the thing that you would take to have more muscles. Then I discovered that these things are robots. And there is literally a compound of these robots coming together, like Gundam Wing, reading your DNA code, stopping at a certain point, and producing another robot. Now, these robots don't know what they're doing. They're not alive. By definition, they're designed. And I don't want to continue this video because I think it's enough clear. I say again, Salam, alaykum. And with this little pill, I think we have enough material to wait for the next video. Salam.
قاف